In this tough economy, you need to make smart decisions. Shopping in Elizabeth is one of them.
In Elizabeth, you'll pay just half the state sales tax.
Only 3.5%.
When you visit our thriving downtown shopping districts.
The savings are just as great at the IKEA store.
And the Jersey Gardens Mall, the largest outlet mall in the region.
Elizabeth has great restaurants.
A one-of-a-kind Lowe's movie theater.
Brand new hotel.
There's something for everyone.
So be smart. Shop Elizabeth.
Welcome back to our city. And we're here and we're talking about Egenolf Daycare Center and its success over the 125 years. Am I correct? 125
yes,
years?
125.
And over the years, things have changed. Needless to say, when I was a child, what would take place is not the same. Do the children today participate or use computers?
Yes, that's an essential part of the curriculum. The way that the classrooms are set up, it's not a desk chair sort of a configuration. The children sit at tables, but there are a number of different learning stations in the classroom. So they'll have a dramatic play area, they'll have a block area, art, music, literacy, but there's also a computer station. So children select early. The way that our curriculum works is children select early in the day where they want to work, and they tell the teacher what their intention is for the day, and then they go and they work. So if they were at the computer, they'd be side by side with another child and the teacher. So it's a totally interactive experience. It's not like we're saying, go sit and watch a movie at the computer. It's not like that. It's a very instructional situation. And the curriculum works in a very interesting way, because to see 3-year-olds actually be intentional about where they're going to work in the classroom, and then when they're done, reporting back to the teacher what they have learned, it's incredible. And they each scaffold each other's learning by helping them in each of the areas.
Do you have a board of directors at Egenolf?
I do. Egenolf Early Childhood Center has a board of directors. Each of the members, we have 12 members, and they are members of the community. The president of our board, Clarence Balknight, has been the president since I've been there. Wow. So we have a very good relationship and very strong leadership within the organization for a very long time.
Okay. In today's economy, businesses tend to come and go, but Egenolf is celebrating 125 years of service and quality education. How has Egenolf managed to navigate change through all these years?
I think that the best thing that happened was that Egenolf always had good leadership that watched out for what was going to be available to them. So for example, when the child care subsidy became available in the 80s, the leadership of Egenolf went after those subsidies. So at the time that I started, we had 81 subsidized childcare slots. That was really helpful, because we do work in a community where people need to work, and in order to work, they need quality care. Right. And parents are getting savvy to the fact that quality does make a difference. It's not just putting your child with a babysitter or behind a TV. It's the quality experience. So, and then we've had foundations that have been very generous to us through the years to help us survive those tough times. And then, of course, with the court decision, that has made all the difference. But with the added funding comes the added responsibility of providing all of those supports that help make the program high quality.
Now, with the celebration coming up that you mentioned earlier, have you had any outreach to some of the alumni, and are they coming back, do you think?
Well, thank you for asking that. We are in our search for children that have either participated in the program or graduated from the program. Even if they're not living in Elizabeth anymore, we want them to come and join our celebration, which is on December 9th from 6 to 8 at Snyder Academy. And our website is Egenolf Early Childhood Center's 125th anniversary.
That's your Facebook.
Yes, on Facebook.
Egenolf Early Childhood Center's 125th anniversary.
Yes.
Right. So
we're looking for anybody who's had any kind of relationship with Egenolf to contact us through that Facebook page. There is a $25 donation for the celebration. We are expecting many people who are honoring us. We have the executive director for the National Association for the Education of Young Children joining us. Of course, the mayor will be there, and a number of other invited celebrities.
Yeah, celebrities.
As well as our graduates. So we're really doing a lot of outreach for that.
The interesting thing is that people can range in ages from 7 to 97 that
Sure.
day. So you have quite a bit of work doing your search
Yes,
there.
yes.
So reach out to all the senior centers, and you'll be
Yes.
surprised who's going to say, "Hey, I was there."
Yeah, we actually we're looking through some of our archives, and we're looking through actually a payment book from I think it was 1894, and parents were paying something like $5 a month for care, but we were looking through the handwritten
much?
pages, $5 a month. We were looking through the handwritten pages and the names and trying to see if we could find any of the people.
Wow, the book itself might be worth money.
Yeah, it's like the crumpling kind of old pages.
Yeah.
It's brown. Yeah, a lot of interesting stuff.
Wow. Egenolf has been recognized in many avenues of education. Can you talk about some of the accolades that Egenolf has received over the years, and which do you value the most and why?
We have been written up in a number of books, and particularly with our child advocacy and the challenges that we've stumbled upon. I think it may have been 4 or 5 years ago, the state of California visited Egenolf with, at the time, Arnold Schwarzenegger's cabinet, because they wanted to replicate the program at Egenolf in California as they were pursuing state funds for preschool. And that was a fantastic experience. In fact, I still get contacted by
Right.
people in California. I think the most outstanding recognition that in my mind that we have is that to be accredited by the National Association for the Education of Young Children. In the accreditation process, there are 400 criteria that we have to meet that are criteria for quality, and it's a rigorous process. But we did it with flying colors, and we were able to hold on to it for the 23 years. So I think that's been the most important thing.
So you've been there over 20 years. The center itself has been over 125 years. What do you think is the formula? Why so successful? What would you say?
Well, it's the reputation and the support that the city's given us. Anytime I call the mayor, he comes out and supports us. We've done work with United Way. We're just part of the community, and the community is so kind to us and recognizes that we have been helpful to them as well.
Where do you see the center 20 years from now?
That's a good question. I hope. What makes me feel good right now is when we listen to the presidential debates, or even President Obama has been talking so much about preschool. We've never heard the talk about preschool as we have of late, because of the studies that we have that show how it reduces the prison population and it's good for the economy, and you're raising a good tax-paying citizenry. In 20 years, I really hope it doesn't take 20 years, but I hope that preschool becomes part of the continuum of education. So historically, we think of education kindergarten through 12th grade. I hope it's preschool through college, that this country takes education very, very seriously.
And at the end of the year, do you have a big graduation for the children?
We used to, but we don't. In the contractual obligation that we have right now, we only take 3-year-olds.
Okay. And they don't graduate. They don't get a cap to
No,
get on
we used to do that when we had 3, 4, and 5-year-olds.
Right.
But I don't want to make graduation less valuable. So when they graduate, finally going to kindergarten, that's okay. But like the 8th grade, middle school maybe,
Right.
and high school graduations, they're so meaningful, especially to many of our families who have never, some of them have never had a graduation at all in their families. So we want to hold on to the real importance of the whole graduation experience. We do have a party though.
Right. Do you know if any of the children are former Egenolf students? I mean, any of the employees, former students?
The employees, not the current employees, but we have had children. The funny story was, I do a lot of work with advocates for children in New Jersey and in Newark, ACNJ. And I've been working with them for years, and they've been strong supporters of quality early childhood education. One of my close associates, Cynthia Rice, her mother actually came to Egenolf, and she told me many years ago that she was a graduate of Egenolf. So you never know. I mean, we just have conversations with people all the time, and somebody will say, yeah, I went to Egenolf too.
Can you talk about how you managed to forge and maintain relationships and continue to advocate for children in the community?
Well, I think it's because we really believe in what we're doing and we do it well. And somebody walked into Egenolf not too long ago and said, wow, we walk in here and we just sense that the whole, the energy around quality and excellence. So I think that we make people feel good and people are happy with the way their children are learning and growing. We work with the United Way before. We support other agencies in Elizabeth. Elizabeth has been so very good to us, so we feel the need to give back to Elizabeth. So I think that, just as you said, Egenolf is synonymous with Elizabeth, we feel that way too. And we're very grateful to what the city has done for us over the years.
And once again, the date and time of the celebration?
December 9th from 6 to 8 at Snyder Academy, which is on Broad Street in Elizabeth. $25 donation, and we're seeking anyone that has been to Egenolf, heard of Egenolf, loves Egenolf. It's going to be a great celebration.
And the number to contact you if they need more information or to?
908-352-7508.
And the address real quick of Egenolf in case someone wants. Now, is there a waiting list or can?
Not yet.
Okay.
So, but we're hoping to get one, so hurry up and do that. 725 Newark Avenue is our address in Elizabeth.
And is there a goal for or a mission for this year or a theme for Egenolf this year?
For the celebration, it's just our anniversary party. We were trying to think of something kitschy, but that just sounded appropriate. 125 years in service to the community is pretty dramatic for us. The proceeds from the donations will go to our mortgage fund so that we can pay that off and own our school.
And do you recall the original address on Spring Street?
305.
305.
I think it's 305 or 304.
I have to go
Spring
back and see what
Street.
was there. That's interesting to see that because right now it's a major highway. So I'm just curious to see what that could have looked like back in 125 years ago on Spring Street.
Yeah, I think we have some artist renditions. We will have a display case at the celebration. We will have some artifacts from over the 125-year history of Egenolf.
And I'm working on getting my friend to come out from the,
I hope so.
and I just got off the phone with him before the show and was telling him about it. He was all excited.
Oh,
So
great.
I remember the house. And if I'm not mistaken, the Salvation Army replaced it right around that area.
Yes.
And that was Egenolf on
Yes.
Elizabeth Avenue. So
Yeah.
I can
That's
give
great.
you a little help on the history, not too much. I'm not that old. Thank you for joining us
Thank
today.
you so much.
Thank you for tuning in to this segment of Our City. Have a safe and wonderful week. Thank you.
Offering everything you could want from college, including a life. Kane University.